Hi, my name is Bob Coakley, and I'm with a company called Upgrade Performance. And I've been sponsored by CSE Insurance to work with you, California insurance specialists, to help you become even better with this sales program. Hi, my name is Bob Coakley, and I've got the opportunity to work with the fine professionals here at California Insurance Specialist. I've been sponsored by CSE Insurance, and the goal of this program is to help you make more money. Who doesn't want that? If you have extra, I'll take it on. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to give you a brief introduction to what the program is and a little bit of an overview of it, and specifically some of the purposes. Then I'll share with you how we developed it and came up with the topics we did. I'll do a brief introduction of myself so you know who you'll be working with in this program. And then we'll go over how it works. And then in our first session coming up, we're going to talk about that first 30 seconds you have with a customer, that first 30 seconds where you have an opportunity to make a first impression. And then lastly, I'll just go over our first session's preparation, which will be part of this video. So what do you say? Let's get going. So baseball is back. No fans in the stands, but the players are out there playing. One of the stories from baseball that really resonated with me was with the manager, Joe Madden, formerly with the Cubs. He brought them to a World Series with a lot of Red Sox players, by the way. One of the drills he runs with his players at spring training is he has them run reps around the bases, just continually to run them and run them and run them. But he does a little bit differently. He asks that the players touch a certain spot on the bag. In fact, he puts a spot on the corner where he wants them to touch the tip of their toe. And what he does is he'll watch them. He positions a coach at each base, and they'll watch them run the bases and where they place their foot. Also, the coaches at each base have a stopwatch. So they time how long it takes to get to first, how long to second, to third, and to home. And as you can well imagine, the more reps they do, what do you think happens to their time? It goes down, exactly. And the whole purpose of that is because he's trying to train them to do more cuts around the bases and fewer wide loops. Because in baseball, sometimes the little things can mean the difference between winning and losing a game. And sometimes just that little extra cut can be the difference between being safe or being out. Now, I don't know if you know anything about baseball, but chances are you probably know which way they run the bases. One thing I do know you know about is insurance. I realize that you're experienced, that you've been doing this, and that you know what you're doing. And this program isn't about starting from scratch. This is about taking professionals like yourselves and having you step out of the day-to-day busyness of the game, right? To think about how can you do more cuts and fewer loops. It's often those micro improvements that can improve our game. And in the case of insurance, it can improve the number of closes we get. It could be improving the first call closes. It could be getting multi-policies. These are all those cuts, those micro improvements. If we focus on them, especially with an experienced group like yourself, you truly will be able to have even better results. Believe it or not, even better. And that's really my goal in this program. You up for that? So my name is Bob Coakley. I'm with a company called Upgrade Performance, and I've been working with the fine people from CSE for many years. And we partner with some of the best agency partners, again, to help invest in them. And again, together try to grow everyone's business. If their business is growing and your business is growing, then they'll bring me in more. So it is my goal to help you be even more successful. Now, our company and our engagements really center on what we call the human interaction. I'm not here to give you insurance advice and how guidelines or underwriting guidelines work and getting waivers or filing a claim. That's not my role. My role is about how can we improve our human interaction. What we found is it happens in our conversations. It's those words and phrases we use, and it's about being super thoughtful, especially with experienced people, about how can we just tweak what we say when we say it, because when we do, it really can make a big difference. We believe in what I call extreme customization. I'm in sales. I've been in sales my entire life. In order for me to eat, to pay my rent, to put gas in my car, it requires me to sell something. So I cut through the clutter, and what we're talking about is trying to make sure what we bring to you is relevant and it's something you can put into play immediately. So I cut through the clutter. And again, I've been in sales my entire life. I still do it today. It requires me. So I'm constantly practicing my craft. And I work with a wide range of clients, everything from clients like Google and financial services like Merrill Lynch, hotel chains, AAA, other insurance companies. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is help you be a little bit better. Personally, I'm originally from Boston, so I'm a Red Sox fan. But now I live down in San Clemente, and I am blessed with an awesome 12-year-old little girl, and we are having a good time even during this COVID kind of shutdown. So let me share with you a little bit about how we developed the program. And after all, remember, it's all about how we can make those micro improvements. So in order to develop this, I spoke with the leadership team. I spoke with Randy, I spoke with Tammy, I spoke with Robert. In addition to that, I spoke to multiple agents, and we sent out a survey form so I could gather some information. Hard for me to make any suggestions unless I know a little bit more about you. So this is based on those interviews. It's not something I just grabbed off the shelf. Now, the topics we'll laser in on, and we're lasering in on these because we believe this can have the most impact on your business quickly and easily. Number one is that first 30 seconds of building rapport. How can we be masters of that? Because what we found is when you can master that first 30 seconds, you're going to see an increase in your close rate. In addition to that is how can you deliberately build your credibility so that customer on the other end of the line knows they're talking to a professional and they're going to be receptive to what you offer them. We're going to talk about discovery and some of the questions we can ask. In fact, questions that can help build credibility, but also gather more business. Could be more referrals. It could be increasing or improving our retention. It could be multi-policies, etc. All those things. And then we'll talk a little bit about how you present your solutions, how you review an insurance policy so you avoid talking in insurance jargon, but use some stories that are going to help them understand quickly, but also be motivated to make the right decision about their coverages. So we have happy customers long-term who want to continue to work with you, send you referrals, and stay with our company for a long, long time. So here's how it works. We're going to have 5 virtual sessions, and it's going to be something like Zoom or Google Hangouts, and we'll have you on video and me on video. It's kind of nice where we can see each other. So we'd like to make sure you're prepared to do that, kind of simulate that classroom experience. We're going to do these sessions weekly. So a bite-sized session each week. So that way, in about 55 minutes, we can cover a topic. We can exchange ideas. We can talk about challenges you're running into. And after that 55 minutes is over, you can hit your desk again and begin using some of these ideas that we just covered. So allowing you to put this stuff into practice immediately. So not a huge time, burden on you, but we're going to move really fast in these sessions. Now, to prepare for and make the most of these sessions, each week I'll do a video somewhat like this on the topic we'll be covering. So we'll be asking you to open up this Google form. You'll watch the video. There'll be a few questions, and the preparation for each session will take anywhere about 10 minutes. If you want to invest more time, you're certainly welcome to, but it does require about 10 minutes prep so that way you can maximize your time when we get together. And these are not sessions where I'm going to talk for 55 minutes. It's very interactive. So get ready. We use the chat box. So I use that to what I call direct the traffic. So we're not talking over one another. At the same time, it gets people involved. So this is not a program for someone who plans on being an innocent bystander. And Folks, I like to have fun. Hopefully you're getting that idea from this session, but we'll have a good time along the way, and we're going to have even more fun because week to week, you'll be able to put this stuff into practice and you'll see that it's actually helping your business. Isn't that good? So we're in this era of COVID. We don't have the opportunity to get together in person. In fact, this can be a silver lining because the way we'll roll this program out, and I've done dozens during the COVID crisis in virtual sessions, and we're going to do it over the course of 5 weeks. In fact, 6 weeks I'll be with you. These sessions will be about an hour, about 55 minutes each week. And to prepare for, so we can make these sessions super relevant and useful, we have some pre-session preparation. That's going to come in the form of a video like this, along with some questions you'll answer. So you'll watch the video and then answer the questions. Typically, this is going to take anywhere from 10, maybe 20 minutes. So it's not going to be a huge burden, but it does require an investment on your part. You've probably heard this one, takes two to tango, right? I'm going to bring everything I've got, all right? If you can kind of meet me halfway, I'm confident you're going to get some really positive things out of this. Now, we make these sessions interactive. So we use the chat box. So when you hop on our calls, be ready and have your video on. So that way we can see each other, kind of have that type of mojo going. But in addition to that, get right into the chat box. I will be asking you questions, and that will also allow me to to direct the traffic, if you will. This is not the type of program where you can be an innocent bystander. Again, in the spirit of how can we get a little bit better? How can we close more sales? That's what it's all about. You ready for that? Let's get ready for session number 1. So we're going to go out of the gate here really fast. To get prepared for that, you'll answer the questions I have in this survey. First is to get to know you a little bit better. Tell me a little bit about you personally, how long you've been in the business, and maybe a little bit about some of the challenges that you run into. I'd like to ask you to reflect for a moment and take a look at 5 quotes, ones that you've done recently. And don't choose ones where they were easy, lay down, you would have got them no matter what, or the other ones where it's just virtually impossible to get it. Maybe you were several $1,000s more, your coverages were worse. Let's not choose those extremes. Choose one that's kind of in the middle and think about what is it you did to get the business, or secondly, what do you think kept you from getting that business? And that will help us distill down into some of the challenges we can work on in the program to help you close more sales. One last thing on that. Please focus on ones where it's in your control. Now, I don't have influence on the underwriters over at CSE or any other carrier, but you know the ones where maybe if I could tweak things, I might have gotten that one. So that's what will help us identify some of the topics we'll go into even deeper. Now, the first topic is the first 30 seconds. I'd like you to reflect on what you do to create a connection with that customer that calls in. Because we all know it takes almost a minute to go through the phone tree to get to you. So at that point, generally, customers are not like super jolly. So it requires us to be on our A game. What are some things you do? Maybe even listen to a couple of your calls. What do you do that engages and gets that client comfortable and lowers their resistance? And that way they're receptive to listen to you. And then lastly, what would you like to get out of this program? What are some things we can cover that would be relevant, that could help you improve? Again, I do not have influence over guidelines and pricing and things like that. So stuff that we can control, our human interaction. So you ready for that? I am going to bring everything I've got to this program. It is my mission to partner with you guys to come on the other side of this 6 weeks later saying, man, I am really glad I did this. And wow, I am closing more sales and I'm making more money. I'll see you on the first session. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear your responses to these questions. I'll get prepared. How about you? Take care.